evolution turned out, ironically, to be the seed that germinated into the prolonged struggle that gave birth to the democracy we currently enjoyed since 1999. In rising to strongly oppose the arbitrary annulment of the will of the majority of Nigerians, as expressed in that historic election, the substantial number of our people who participated in the struggle to annul the election signified their fierce commitment to enthroning democracy as a form of government that best ennobles the liberty, the dignity of individual, and integrity, as well as the stability of the polity. The fierce opposition to the annulment of June 12, 1993 presidential election and unrelenting pro-democracy onslaught it unleashed was the equivalent of the battle against colonial rule by our founding fathers that resulted in the gaining of Nigerian independence in 1960. Just like the anti-colonial movement, the pro-democracy June 12 vanguard demonstrated once again the enduring validity of the 19th century historian Arnold Toynbee's eternal postulation that civilization and society experience progress as they are forced to respond to challenges posed by the environment. The unjust annulment of a widely acknowledged free and fair election was a challenge that elicited resistance by a resurgent civil society, leading ultimately to the attainment of our second independence, as exemplified by the return of democratic governance in 1999. Fellow compatriots, we celebrate a day that has remained a watershed in our nation's history, not just today, but for every June 12, for the endless future that our beloved country shall exist and work stronger and stronger. Generation of Nigerians will always remember themselves that the democracy that is steadily growing to become the defining essence of our polity was not gifted to us on a silver platter. We can easily recall the sacrifice and the martyrdom of Chief MKO Abiola, the custodian of the sacred mandate that was so cruelly annulled. He sacrificed his life in unyielding patriotic defense of the ideals of democracy, as symbolized in his choice by his fellow countrymen and women as their duly elected president. There was an easier choice for him. It was to forgo the justice of his cause and opt for the path of ease and capitulation in the face of the tyranny of power. To his eternal credit and immortal glory, Abiola said no. He demonstrated the time-tested eternal truth that there are certain ideals and principles that are far more valuable than life itself. Every day on this day, down the ages, we will recall the several heroes of democracy, such as Kudirat Abiola, wife of Chief Abiola, who was brutally murdered while in the trenches fighting on the side of the people. We remember Pat Alfred Rwani, one of the heroes of our independence struggle, and Major General Shehu Musa Yar'Adua retired, who was silenced by the military junta while in pursuit of democracy. They gave their yesterday for the liberty that is ours today. The point is that we must never take this democracy for granted. We must forever jealously guard and protect it like a precious jewel. For a people can never truly appreciate the freedom and the right democracy guarantees them until they lose it. We have transferred the dark, thorny part of dictatorship before, and those who experience it can readily testify to the unbridgeable gap between the dignity of freedom and the humiliation and degradation of tyranny. True, yes, rancorous debates, interminable wrangling, ceaseless quarrels, bitter electoral contestations may be perceived by some as the unattractive feature of democracy, but they also testify to its merits and value. This year, we held the 7th in the cycle of elections that have become sacred ritual of our democratic practice in this dispensation since 1999. That the polls were intensely contested is in itself positive evidence that democracy is well and alive in our land. It is only natural that even as those who won and experienced victory in various elections are elated and fulfilled, those who lost are disenchanted and disappointed. But the beauty of democracy is that those who win today can lose tomorrow, and those who lose today will have an opportunity to compete and win in the next rounds of elections. Those who cannot endure and accept the pains of defeat in elections do not deserve the joy of victory when it is their turn to triumph. Above all, those who disagree with the outcome of the elections are taking full advantage of the constitutional provisions to seek redress in court. That is one of the reasons why democracy is the best form of government invented by man. For Chief MKO Abiola, the symbol of this day, in whose memory June 12 became a national holiday, democracy is eternal. It is about rule of law and vibrant judiciary that can be trusted to deliver justice and strengthen institutions. It has become imperative to state here that the unnecessary illegal orders issued to truncate or abridge democracy will no longer be tolerated. The recent harmonization of the retirement age of the judicial officers is meant to strengthen the rule of law, which is a critical pillar of democracy. The reform has just started. The democracy that will yield right dividends to the people who are shareholders means more than just freedom of choice and right to get people into elective offices. It means social and economic justice for our people. To the winner of June 12 democracy offers the best chance to fight and eliminate poverty. 30 years ago, he christened his campaign manifesto "Farewell to Poverty" because he was convinced that there is nothing defined about poverty. It is a man-made problem that can be eliminated with clearly thought out social and economic policies. It is for this reason that in my inauguration address on May 29, I gave effect to the decision taken by my predecessor in office to remove the fuel subsidy, the albatross, and free up the collective use of much needed resources, which had hitherto been pocketed by a few rich. I admit the decision will impose extra burden on the masses of our people. I feel your pain. This is one decision we must bear to save our country from going under and take our resources away from the stranglehold of a few unpatriotic elements. Painfully, I have asked you, my compatriots, to sacrifice a little more for the survival of our country. For your trust and belief in us, I assure you that your sacrifice shall not be in vain. The government I lead will repay you through massive investment in transportation, infrastructure, education, regular power supply, healthcare, and other public utilities that will improve the quality of lives. The democracy MK Abiola died for is one that promotes the welfare of the people over personal interests of the ruling class, and one where the governed can find personal fulfillment and happiness. That is the hope MK Abiola ignited throughout our country in 1993. On this year's Democracy Day, I enjoy all of us, to rededicate ourselves to strengthening this form of government of free people that has been our guiding light these past 24 years. In particular, those of us who have been privileged to elect into public office at various levels in both the executive and legislative arms of government must recommit ourselves to offering selfless service to the people and delivering concrete democracy dividend in accordance with our electoral promises. On my part and that of my administration, I pledge anew our commitment to diligently fulfilling every component of our electoral pact with the people, the Renew Hope agenda. We shall be faithful to truth, faithful to equity, and faithful to justice. We shall exercise our authority and mandate to govern with fairness, respect for the rule of law, and commitment to always upholding the dignity of all our people. On this note, I wish us a happy Democracy Day celebration and pray that the light of liberty shall never be extinguished in our land. Thank you all, and may God continue to bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
tell me the answer.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Well, good morning again to you. Thank you so much for tuning in with us on your radio experience. You can count on 22 minutes taken out of 7 o'clock this Monday morning, the 12th of June, and Nigeria's Democracy Day. Well, we have heard the story of the, June 12th from the president in that presidential address to Nigerians on Democracy Day by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who has just given us that address. Well, if you didn't know about it before, now you know about it. So there's a lot to take away. Okay, there's a few things to take away. His, recommitment to Nigerians to the provision of dividends of democracy. If you followed me when we opened the conversation this morning at 6 o'clock, we're talking about that, the whole promise of the dividends of democracy. Also, the president there speaking about the rule of law and upholding the rule of law, and his commitments to also reform, judicial reforms. That's something that's quite interesting, and the hope on Nigerians, and also the promise to fulfill all campaign promises and everything in the hope, renewed hope agenda. Let's keep our fingers crossed. It's been less than 3 weeks since, or 2 weeks rather, since about 2 weeks since the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu took office. Well, those promises, we hope that they're able to fulfill. Join in with your 2 cents this morning as we review some of the headlines. What significance today holds in the minds of Nigerians. On June 12, 1993, MKO Abiola was said to be adjudged to be the winner of the election that took place in that year, 1993. But somehow the election was annulled, and a year after, MKO Abiola somehow proclaimed himself president and commander-in-chief in Lagos, and that wasn't going to be taken lightly by the military dictator at the time, General Sani Abacha. And well, his arrest was ordered. He was declared wanted, arrested, and all. And he died in prison in 1998, July 1998. And well, the rest is, they say, his history. Now, what's significant? In 1993, MKO Abiola ran a campaign with Hope 93 as the mantra, or the campaign tag. In 2023, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Bola Ahmed Tinubu won an election, ran a campaign on a renewed hope, won the election. In 1993, MKO Abiola had a Muslim ticket that was widely accepted across the country. Himself, along with Kinkibe at the time, ran that election, and was said to win the election. This is just for those who don't know the story. Well, so some of those things, and well, it happened in 1993, and 30 years after, in 2023, Tinubu, who was a member of that movement at the time, to reclaim the mandate of MKO Abiola, with the Nadeko and the rest of them who fled the country after the election was annulled and National Assembly dissolved and everything dissolved, Well, some of those things are said to be significant in today's history. And maybe that's why the president took his time to talk about all of that, talk about MKO Abiola, on whose account June 12 is May Democracy Day, as against the May 29 that it used to be when we, transitioned to democracy in 1999. Well, that's a bit of the history. Let's get to the dailies now. Some of the papers we see today. From Vanguard newspaper, use June 12 as lesson to drive Nigeria's development. Edwin Clark, IBB, Atiku, Obi, Ghana, others. Tinubu addresses the nation today. Activists protest high cost of living. Meet at Abiola's Ikeja home. Nigeria should be crisis-free. Clark. Democracy in bondage in Nigeria. Incumbents must stop influencing polls, says Atiku. Gains of June 12 can deepen our democracy. IBB. Annulment, a tragic mistake, says Jerry Ghana. Also there. Failed transactions, banks, others trade blames as customers' agony persists. Fuel subsidy, school owners groan, seek government assistance. Fuel subsidy, school owners groan, seek government's assistance. And there, economic uncertainties, insecurity drive up life insurance. Life policy rises 18.2%. Trend to continue as economic downturn persists, says operators. NMDPRA accuses ExxonMobil of oil theft. NMDPRA accuses ExxonMobil of oil theft. Drama in this country. 10th Senate plots to stop Yari thickens as more senators back his ambition. 10th Senate plots to stop Yari thickens as more senators back his ambition. Interesting. Moving away from that one, let's get to the Guardian newspaper. 30 years after, pro-democracy activists remind Tinubu of June 12 ideals. 30 years after, pro-democracy activists remind Tinubu of June 12 ideals. Still there, daunting expectations from Shonubi as CBN house cleaning begins. Daunting expectations from Shonubi as CBN house cleaning begins. Bureaucracy, shoddy preparation stall Nigeria air certification in stage 1. Bureaucracy and shoddy preparation stall Nigeria air certification in stage 1. DSS lacks power to investigate and prosecute Emefiele, says Falana. DSS lacks power to investigate and prosecute Emefiele, says Falana. So over the weekend, Nigerians saw videos emerge on social media of how the DSS went about in its arrest of the CBN governor who was suspended just a day before by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. People have said, well, this is witch hunting. Some others have said, look, this is right. This is the right thing to do. But other observers of democracy and all say, look, this is personal vendetta. And this may just also amount to abuse of power if the CBN governor had done anything wrong, then it should be prosecuted and not witch hunted. We'll see how the things play out in the coming days. What the courts and if he's arraigned and what the courts would decide. 60 years after, reality of United Africa hampered by xenophobia, says report. 60 years after, reality of United Africa hampered by xenophobia, says report. June 12, Tinubu admirers and critics. You want to read that in the belly of the Guardian newspaper. Nigeria's democracy imperfect, but scored gains, says EU. Nigeria's democracy imperfect, but scored gains, says EU. All right, join the conversation. Let's get talking. By the way, what did you pick up from the President's Democracy Day address? Join the conversation and let's get talking. Interesting points. I just pointed out some of the things, some of the takeaways from that Democracy Day address. It's quite interesting. Let's get the conversation going. 090-7353-0044 and 090-8766-8888. Please listen to this announcement. Abuja, have you heard about Take Charge project. In line with the current economic crisis in the country, the Take Charge project is aimed at helping a lot of people take charge of their finances and improve their lives. Research has shown that a lot of people have business ideas but don't have the necessary skills to scale up their businesses, and even how to accomplish it is a problem. Who is eligible to apply? Are you a professional in search of a strong stream of income? Secondly, are you a businessman or woman who is in search of upscaling and expanding their business? Do you want to generate cash to either start a business or complete an existing project that needs funding? You also want to be mentored from our mentoring session, where we mentor people based on the amounts they are looking for, and not only build a business, but to build a great life. What you need to do to be part of this session is to respond to these numbers. The first 30 persons will be contacted. 091 20 90 71 85. 091 20 90 71 85. 091 20 71 85. That is 091 20 90 71 85. I'll take that again. 091 20 90 71 85. All right.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Now let's dig into your thoughts. Thank you for keeping it with us on your radio experience. You can count on this is the pages. Let's get talking now. Hello, good morning. Apologize. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Hannah.
Good morning, Michael. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Good to have you. How was your weekend, Michael?
Thank God.
Great.
Yeah, Democracy Day. Anyway, I didn't see much effort. I mean, basically, the president was just emphasizing on MK Abdullah. So I was expecting to hear a lot of things, but in a 50-minute talk, I couldn't make up just showering the praises to MK Abdullah, who is the initiator of this June 12 we're talking about. I think one other thing he also talked about is, I think he repeated what he said in an inauguration day in terms of removal of subsidies and so forth. When they always talk, they always say we should make the sacrifice. You know, the masses should make the sacrifice. But we are also seeing the sacrifice then themselves are making. I was also expecting him to do it for us to join together in making that sacrifice. Maybe between 6 months, I'm not going to collect my salary. You know, I didn't hear that. But anyway, he has spoken. If can be able to give us electricity as he repeated, and then bring maybe the money they may realize on the issue of the subsidy of the thing and use that to develop our country, provide transportation, that would be a good one. And finally, for the issue of a CBN governor, I think it's a good thing that he has been arrested, because this man actually, that is not how to run a bank. You know, under the leadership of CBN governor, it was a disaster. It was a disaster. Even I just check it. When the CBN governor made to take over, how much was the dollar? And how much did he leave it? Can you tell us? Because I am sure a dollar between maybe 170, 180 maximum at that particular time. But when this man take over, he became the brought the change himself. You can sell the dollar at any amount to anybody he wishes, and up to today, until the renewal of his duty,
Michael,
the dollar and against Naira still on the high side.
Okay.
It's a disaster to have somebody like a CDM government, and I pray we will never make that mistake again.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Welcome.
Hey, my name is I'm calling from Salonse.
Oh, how do you know? Sule, good morning. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Let me go the stuff of dear president. So, the word I learned from there, try to learn how to be accepted. If you are not winning today, tomorrow you are going to win. Yes. So continuously, one day you will die, leave the place, another person takes away the stuff. And then it took everything, health sector, electricity, transportation, everything you see is going to put a massive deploy percentage there so that to make sure say this country happy by his government. So that is good one. So what we in Nigeria, we know this one is a new government. What we in Nigeria are saying, anybody that come promise Nigeria, let that person fulfill that promise and go. When the person has failed to fulfill that promise, both Christians and Muslims, we are to the band together. They know themselves. So let me go to our Nigerian governor. Only the time of capital policy, only the time that he sent the money, he reached that man to be job with him and Mr. President, the former President Mahmoud Buhari, when we just check Nigeria money. But where is money now? Where is money? He cannot see the money. That's what Master is saying. It's a concrete evidence for Nigeria to give commandment for the suspension of the civilian governor. So may God help us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Haruna. Appreciate you. All right, keep your calls coming. 090-7353-0044. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Prince Ian. Happy Democracy Day to all Nigerians.
Happy Democracy Day to you too, Clement Zion Prince. Welcome.
I'm not going to make my comments. I listen.
Go ahead.
I listened keenly to the presidential address, and I don't know whether it was written for him. I don't know whether he wrote it by himself. But personally, I want to tell you that I love that speech. It was coherent and tested. In fact, I saw the Nadeko fervency in Tinubu, which made me to love him when we were all in Alliance for Democracy, down to ACN. I love the speech. And I wish he could carry the spirit of that speech to the transformation of Nigeria. One area I want to comment is he made reference to the subsidy removal. Maybe in an avowed justification of the move. Yes, subsidy needed to be removed. But did he think of how he removed it and the impact on Nigerians? The implementation has started poorly. The subsidy was paid for till the end of June. This is 12th of June. We have not less than 18 days running. Do you know what subsidy costs in one day? The money paid for the subsidy from May 29 to end of June. Who will account for that money? I wish Tinubu can one day wake up and tell us how much he recovered from subsidy payment of June. He made reference to our election. But we can't take it away that the election that brought Tinubu was very, very flawed and a sham. Yes, we are all challenged to go to court, anybody who is not in love with it. But I hope that Tinubu and his administration will allow the course of justice to run through the courts. That the decisions of courts will not be influenced by executive powers. Let us see how he goes about this. And as we are watching out for his cabinet, the people we bring in, we pray too that it will not be those who are tested in running down Nigeria. People who have had super power cabinet offices, powerhouse works and housing, and so many other things. Let us watch and see how Tinubu goes. We pray for him. I wish that fervency in him will resuscitate his administration. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you very much, Clemens Iron Prince. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Yeshua.
Good morning. Is this Anyekan?
No, sorry. This is Ola, calling from Lugbe.
Ola, welcome.
Yes, thank you very much.
Good to have you. Is it your first time calling, Ola?
Not the first time, really. It's been a long time now. I used to call them.
Oh, okay.
Down. It's getting past.
Okay, great. Go ahead. Let's hear you, please.
Thank you very much. First of all, Emefiele's arrest and possible prosecution. You see, it's only anybody who does not have blood running in his veins, or perhaps who is suffering from memory loss, that will pick offense in the decision of this administration to arrest and have Emefiele prosecuted. Emefiele brought anguish, pains on Nigerians with the so-called cashless and cash stop policies. Do you understand? And in addition to that, most of the policies, most of his activities as the head of the CBN in Nigeria, we're just filled with incompetence. Honestly, I don't want to be overtly how do I put it now? I mean, condemning the man, but the part is that I believe he was one of the worst CBN governors Nigeria ever had. It's just as simple as that. But the only advice I want to give at this point is that, hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, the only advice I want to give at this point in time is that whoever is going to take over for him, I want to advise this administration to look outward. I don't want them to pick from any of these deputies or people who are in the system. There's any tendency that they are already, corrupted already. You understand? I'm talking about the people who are working with him presently. No, especially even this acting this acting CBN governor. These guys are being with him. So let the president look, beyond, the confine of the CBN as it is today. Let him look for, somebody that is experienced enough, who knows a lot about the economy. Do you understand? Somebody that can come and somebody that is going to work independently. Somebody who is not going to allow himself to be influenced by the system. That's what the person should look out for.
Okay.
You understand? Then secondly, let me quickly order 5 seconds. With regards to the the president's address, well, he made assurances, but assurances are not practicability. We want him to put all his words into practice. That's what we want,
All
into
right.
implementation.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you, Ola. Hello. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. This is Chinoso.
Chinoso, welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome. Good to have you again. It's been a while.
Thank you. MFL's arrest was long overdue. MFL inflicted pain on Nigerians. And for me, I think he's the worst CBN governor we ever had. But the thing there is that MFL was not acting on his own. Somebody instructed that he should do so. And the person has gone away, left MFL alone to face the dance. I know MFL cannot, on his own, decide to change this, to color the naira on his own. I know he cannot do that. The person that instructed MFL to do so has gone back to Daula, and he is there, leaving MFL alone to face the challenges and face the outcome. Then, that one apart, on President Bola Tinubu's address, they will always come up with a lofty idea, making you believe that they are just like Buhari did. Became the Minister of Petroleum, that we are going to see 1 liter to 45 naira, and today we are seeing what we are seeing. They'll come up with this good plan, making Nigerians believe that this is what they are about to do. And at the end of the day, we see opposite of what they say. It's not about saying it. It's backing it with action and making Nigeria feel released again. Thank you very much, Yanacha.
Thank you very much, so appreciate you calling in. I'll get to your messages in a bit, but before then, hello, good morning.
Good morning to you, Nancy. How are you doing?
Good morning, Judy Hanacho. Welcome.
Thank you so much. How was your weekend?
It was great. Thank you so much for asking.
Hanacho.
Sir.
The last time I checked, Nigerians never run out of ideas. But at the end of the day, can we make use of that word that come from our mouth? Can we make Nigerians feel the impact of it and the good governance? I think that is where we always lack. In Mr. President's speech, he tried very well. He has spoken well. And whoever put that speech together for him must have tried very well too. I want to urge Mr. President that Nigerians are waiting to see the speech play out in his governance, to see how he will bring all this his speech and promises for Nigerians to enjoy the good governance. I think it will be a good one if he can be able to do that, and it will also make those who didn't believe in him to also believe. I keep on telling him, let him prove so many of us who did not believe in him that he can do it. He can prove us wrong by giving us good governance in Nigeria. For the CBN governor, removal of former CBN governor has been long overdue. And I think he's never late. It's better late than never. So arresting him, I think, is a good one. He should face the judgment because this man has contributed so much in failure of past administration under President Muhammad Buhari, former. So I think it is time for him to tell us what really happened, why he contributed so much in putting Nigerians in pain under 8 years. Thank you so much.
Very much.
God bless you.
Appreciate you. And let's get to the SMS now. Ohino is here. Ohino, good morning to you. You say the president talk about eliminating poverty and how he feel our pain over the removal of subsidy. Buhari felt our pains in his speech June 12 that led us to where we are today. But Nigeria is not yet fortunate to be blessed with strong, disciplined, dedicated, and honest leadership at the political and bureaucratic level in this country. Ohina, that's your thought. Thank you very much there. Let's get to more. And this is from my a friend, Morgan Emmanuel. Excuse me. Morgan Emmanuel says the flood is imminent. Government should find a lasting solution to this malady. People should not be made to pass through this every year. Morgan Emmanuel, thank you very much. I promise to reach out to you later today so we can talk about this shortly. So later I would be reaching out to you, hopefully. So we talk about this. I like that you're passionate about the flooding situation in this country. You're one person who has lamented it over time, not non-stop. You've consistently lamented the flooding situation in the country. Well, let's take more calls. 09073530044 and 09087668888. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Yanacho.
Good morning.
Good morning, Yanacho. This is Comrade Anthony calling you from Spain.
Comrade Anthony. Is it your first time calling, Comrade? Uh-oh. Seems like the network did you in. Comrade Anthony. Okay, so I just go to the voice notes now. Let's see who is here. Anthony Witness, good morning to you. Welcome.
Hello, good morning, Prince Henacho.
Good morning, Anthony.
This is Anthony Witness. May your kingdom last long.
Amen.
Unfortunately, I did not start from the beginning to listen to the address of Mr. President. But one of the things I coded out of the little one I had is that he is going to deliver dividends of democracy, which means the promises he has made. But unfortunately, Prince, you will help me out. I cannot pinpoint any single promise he made during his campaign, because from my own perspective, he was just attacking other competitors. And the only thing I heard him say is that he's going to start from where Mr. President Buhari stopped. And that is all. I cannot enumerate, at least during Buhari's time, I can enumerate as many promises as possible that he made, though he didn't even attempt any. He didn't fulfill even one single one. But I can pinpoint them. But in this particular regime, I did not pinpoint one single promise he made. So you will help me out, please, to mention those promises he made. And again, about Mefele's being whisked away, and some people are saying that it's not supposed to be witch hunt. Rather, they should prosecute him. I want to ask, how will you prosecute somebody you don't see? So if he's making an attempt to escape or to go to where they will not find him, and they decide to trap him down before they will prosecute him, there's no big deal about that. There's no problem about that. Though there are many people like him in the past regime. So we are expecting that they will prosecute him and prosecute every one of them, not making choice who to prosecute and who not to prosecute. There are many things to handle. Thank you and have a good day.
Thank you very much, Anthony Witness. And it seems like this is where we'd have to drop the anchors on the program this morning. Thank you so much for calling. Well, the president made several promises in his campaign. Maybe you were not paying attention. But key on some of those, would be the fact that he had promised that Nigerians would get a good credit scheme, so you can buy things on credit. Education would be prioritized. A 4-year course would be a 4-year course. Several like that. Electricity was going to be addressed. All of the problems around electricity was going to go. Electricity supply, that is, was going to be a thing of the past. And all. So there's a lot. I mean, the Nigerian politicians promise basically the same things every election cycle. So the same things that you know. So you can literally just transfer promises by one candidate to the other, and at all levels, that is. Even a local government chairman will promise you that he will fix electricity. A councillor would do the same thing and ensure that people have good roads and all. And well, basically that. So anyway, this is where we'll drop the anchors. Thank you so much for being a part of the conversation. Let's do this again tomorrow at the top of the hour 7. My name is Nacho Prince. Keep it with us on your radio experience. You can count on.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.